Hello, I'm Mia, and this is how I made a Mario plant out of paper mache. Let's get started. So some of these materials I didn't actually use for the reasons you will see soon, but some of these are important materials. And the reason why this isn't really a tutorial is because I made a lot of mistakes along the way, so we can live and we can learn together through this experience. So first, what you need to do is get 3 type of papers. 1, a newspaper just for the base. 2nd, a magazine paper because it's a little stiffer. And lastly, a white paper for when it's easier to paint on. So you're just gonna want to cut it out, and I'll let you hear some ASMR. Okay, and now here is what the mistake I was talking about earlier, as I first tried to make the shape by using tinfoil paper, and that did not work out well because I'm not very good at bending tinfoil papers. So don't do that, don't waste your tinfoil, leave them alone. And the second option is much better, and that is a balloon. Now, I'm not really sure why it's better than tinfoil paper, but you just gotta trust me and trust the process. So what you want to do is blow up a balloon to the right proportion that you want, and just start marking the parts where you want the mache to be. It's important to be sure that when you're marking the balloon that both sides are proportionate, because you don't want one taller side and one shorter side. I'm not sure how to tell you how to do that, but you're just gonna have to trust yourself. Next, you put down the glue, and you don't want too much, but you don't want too little glue. I'm not very good at directions, but just put the right amount of glue and water together and just stir it together. If you don't have enough water, you can add more. If you don't have enough glue, you can add more. And now this part, you can do it in many ways. There's no really wrong way to do it unless you don't get glue on your paper, on your newspaper. But what I mainly do is I just dip my newspaper in glue, and then I just spread out the glue with my 2 fingers. But you can also just put some glue on the balloon and then put the newspaper on top of it and add more glue on top of the newspaper. However it works, the more glue you use, the more harder it'll get. And now this is actually footage from the day after, but as you can see, I just hanged my balloon up on somewhere high and put a garbage can below so that it does not trip, and so it can air out. And as you can see, it got hard overnight, and that is great. That is what we want to see. So now you're going to want to repeat the process because you want this really thick. You don't want it really thin, but I don't know how many times I glued a newspaper to probably at least 4 or 5 layers. You don't really need to do that much, I don't think, but that's what I just do. So I just do the same process, and I rip the paper out so then I don't have to do it with my gluey hands. And as I was getting ready to glue, something so scary happened. There was a bug in my glue that I guess appeared overnight. So put a cap on your container at night, and not only will it prevent bugs from getting stuck in there, it'll also prevent the glue from evaporating because it will shrink if you leave it out in midair. So just put a container or a newspaper on top of it to cover it from air. And after repeating the process, I just hang it up at the same spot again and let it dry. This part is really important because you need it dried. Now, this part is really important and also really difficult, but what you're gonna want to do is try to make the lip of the Mario plant. And by doing that, you're going to want to roll some tissue paper. You want to make it really, really thick because you don't want to do layers like I did. But basically what you want to do is make it stand out. And by doing that, you're going to want to paper mache the tissue paper together with the newspaper. Do you understand what I'm saying? You're going to want to just add more dimension to that part of the lip. And that is how you do it according to this video. Basically what I'm trying to say, just to layer that part a lot so that it looks like the Mario lip, okay? Okay. Okay, at this point I did 2 layers of regular newspaper and the magazine newspaper, so now I'm just using the white newspaper wait, just the white paper, and this will make it easier to paint on because it's easier to paint on white paper than to paint on gray paper. Trust me on this. I just use any white paper in my house to do this, but I think I did not use 9x11, those plain printer papers. I don't know. So this part is a fun part, and also this is the part where you do not want to use a fork to try to pop a balloon, because this is what is going to happen. You see, instead you're going to want to use the scissors. I don't know why this works better, but trust me. Look at that. See, I don't know why balloon works, but it just doesn't stick on the glue in the newspaper, so you can just pull it out at the other end. Also, did I mention to attach a string to the end of the balloon? Whatever, okay. So now you got yourself a beautiful empty shell, and you're just going to want to shave it down if you want. If you prefer, you don't have to. But I did, and I don't think it made a difference, but I felt better. And this is it after sanding. I don't know if it made a difference, but I like it. And now let's paint. This part's really fun, and I always enjoy painting, so here's what you need. White paint, some paintbrushes, and possibly red paint. If you want your spread, of course. And a jar of water, yeah. So, I guess I didn't record the part where I painted the shell, but just paint some circles, paint the inside darker than the original color, and this part is where I did make my second mistake, and that is I didn't make a hole small enough for the straw. I made it too big. So I don't know how you would do that for yourself, but my hole was too big. So in order to combat that, I just made it smaller by adding paper mache to it and stuff. It was really hard. I also made a vase by using a tin foil cup, and I just chopped it down. But if you already have a vase, don't make your own, because that's like really annoying and really hard and waste of your time. But yeah, so I painted the vase, and I like how it turned out. And as you can see for the stem, I just like paper mache the hole, put it together. This part was really hard, and balancing it was even harder because, oh my god, it will not balance. And here's me just doing the leaf part of it. I just did this with regular hard paper and paints, and this did take a day because I had to let the paint wait and I had to paint it again for an extra layer. As you can see, I was able to make it stand with a few foam, but if you also put batteries in there, and that will also help it balance. Okay, enough. Alright, here's the end result, and I'm really happy with it, even if it does tip over sometimes. And I hope this tutorial also helped you. I did put over some Vaseline. I did put over varnish to make it shiny and now have the paint wear out. And I hope you get to make this sometime too. It's a lot of fun, and you can put stuff in it too. And bye.